Grab your popcorn and settle in, because the tea I'm about to spill is so hot it could melt Antarctica. The hip-hop world is literally exploding right now with the most scandalous, jaw-dropping drama we've seen in years. We're talking about a saga that has everyone from Drake to Jim Jones to 50 Cent caught up in what might be the messiest industry shakeup of 2025. And trust me, honey, this story has more twists than a pretzel factory. Let me set the scene for you, because this is absolutely wild. Just when we thought the hip-hop world couldn't get any more dramatic, Jim Jones, yes, that Jim Jones from Dipset, comes swooping in like some unexpected superhero to defend Drake in what's shaping up to be the legal battle of the century against Universal Music Group. And just when we were trying to process that shocking alliance, who comes barging in like a wrecking ball? None other than the king of controversy himself, 50 Cent, throwing enough shade to cause an eclipse and dragging up ancient Dipset drama that we thought was buried deeper than our pandemic sweatpants.
From a legal perspective, it's an interesting move on Drake's part. Notably, he's not suing Kendrick Lamar, right? He's suing Universal, which reps both of these artists.
Now, darlings, can you believe we're barely dipping our toes into 2025 and we're already witnessing what might be the most earth-shattering lawsuit to rock the music industry since Taylor Swift decided to re-record her entire catalog? I'm talking about Drake's absolutely shocking move to sue UMG over Kendrick Lamar's track, Not Like Us. You know, the one that had everyone's group chats blowing up with theories about whether it was throwing shade at our favorite Canadian rapper.
Including, like actual physical that he could have incurred in financial harm. So they get into the first couple pages. Now, a couple things that we learned in this lawsuit within the first 5 pages that we didn't know. Remember when the shooting happened at Drake's home back?
But hold on to your designer bags, because this is where it gets juicier than a perfectly ripe peach. Drake's legal team isn't just filing some run-of-the-mill lawsuit. They're coming for UMG with the force of a Category 5 hurricane. They're claiming the label is basically sitting back, counting their coins, and profiting off dragging Drake's name through the mud like it's their favorite hobby. And let me tell you, sweetie, the music industry is more divided over this than people are about pineapple on pizza. Some industry insiders are literally bowing down to Drake's courage, saying he's not just fighting a battle, he's starting a whole revolution that could change the game for artists everywhere. But others, oh honey, they're clutching their pearls so tight they might turn into diamonds. They're saying he's crossing a line between personal beef and professional business that's thinner than a supermodel on a juice cleanse. A source so close to Drake they probably know what breakfast cereal he had this morning spilled the hottest tea. Drake isn't just fighting for himself, he's standing up for artists everywhere. But not everyone's buying what Drake's selling, my loves. DJ Academics practically broke the internet when he jumped in to warn Drake about UMG's reputation for humbling artists who dare to challenge them. And when I say humble, I mean the kind of humbling that makes you wish you'd never learned how to write a legal letter.
Now that's very interesting, and that's going to be very operative, not only in them trying to get this dismissed, but also in the federal case subsequently. Why? Because Drake is filing for defamation. You could see Universal's kind of playing, it's a pre-card almost, forever changed. Forever changed. Because now, once music gets to a certain level,
I'm saying
very well said.
Like everything Universal give me is up in its stuff. Yeah. It's not, yo, let's amicably see if we can, let's have a mediator.
So, the hip-hop world split faster than a celebrity marriage. Joe Budden, who never met a controversy he didn't want to dive into head first, came for Drake's neck on his podcast with the kind of energy usually reserved for people who cut in line at Starbucks. He had the absolute audacity to call Drake's moves Karen-like. I mean, can you even? He's out here saying Drake's playing both sides, being the aggressor and the victim, like he's trying to win an Oscar for Best Drama and Best Comedy at the same time.
Disgusting. It's nasty, man. He, like we said, he dropped the petition and has now filed the defamation and harassment suit.
But the interesting thing in there was UMG's position, which is...
But darlings, grab your smelling salts, because this is where the story takes a turn so sharp it could give you whiplash. Just when everyone was picking sides like it was dodgeball in high school, guess who comes strutting into the drama wearing confidence like it's the latest designer drop? Jim Jones. And honey, he didn't just dip his toe in, he cannonballed into Team Drake's pool and made sure everyone got splashed.
Kendrick Lamar, which everybody seems to think that this lawsuit is about, he didn't sue Kendrick Lamar, he sued UMG, which is the biggest company that has the biggest bag, Nick. You think I ain't gonna sue Amazon if I ain't get a chance to? Me suing everybody.
On the Broken Fronton podcast, which suddenly became must-listen content faster than a viral TikTok dance, Jim laid it all out like he was spreading the finest caviar. He made it crystal clear that Drake's lawsuit isn't about coming for Kendrick, it's about taking on UMG, the final boss of the music industry.
Tracy Morgan just caught that bag. We was happy for him, right?
Of course, those are correct. He almost lost his life.
We not gonna be happy about somebody who get a bag from one of the biggest companies that been raping everybody anyway.
And let me tell you something. Jim didn't just stop there. He went all in like he was playing poker with house money. He started comparing Drake's power move to Tracy Morgan's settlement with Walmart, and I'm living for this energy. When critics tried to come for him saying he was just chasing clout like it was the last slice of pizza at a party, Jim shut them down faster than a laptop with a dying battery. The way Jim described it on the podcast, Drake's move was giving James Bond levels of boldness. We're talking shaken, not stirred levels of courage. He painted Drake as David taking on Goliath, except in this version, David's wearing designer clothes and has a Grammy collection that could fill a museum. But you know what they say in this industry? No good deed goes unpunished, and some people can find shade to throw even on the sunniest day. While smaller artists were practically building shrines to Jim for speaking up, others were rolling their eyes so hard they probably got a workout.
Amazon, if I ain't get a chance to, me suing everybody. Any one of them companies I get a chance to playing at that level to sue for billions, I'm going for it. Are you crazy?
Well, if you thought 50 was going to let that slide, you clearly haven't been paying attention to the master of messy. He fired back on Instagram with receipts longer than a CVS receipt during the holiday season. We're talking court transcripts from the 6ix9ine trial, where Jim was allegedly known as Individual 1. The shade of it all was so dense it probably caused a solar eclipse. And because 50 never met a dramatic moment he couldn't amplify, he didn't just stop at one post. He went full FBI detective mode and shared wiretap conversations involving Jim talking about the Treeway Crew and 69999. The implications were shadier than a forest at midnight, if you catch my drift. Just when we thought this situation couldn't get any messier, Cameron burst onto the scene like he was making a surprise entrance at the Met Gala. On his show, It Is What It Is, he spilled enough tea to start a Boston Tea Party 2.0. He went in on Jim Jones with the kind of detailed receipts that would make an accountant jealous. Well, if you thought 50 was going to let that slide, you clearly haven't been paying attention to the master of messy. He fired back on Instagram with receipts longer than a CVS receipt during the holiday season. We're talking court transcripts from the 6ix9ine trial, where Jim was allegedly known as Individual 1. The shade of it all was so dense it probably caused a solar eclipse. And because 50 never met a dramatic moment he couldn't amplify, he didn't just stop at one post. He went full FBI detective mode and shared wiretap conversations involving Jim talking about the Treeway Crew and 69999. The implications were shadier than a forest at midnight, if you catch my drift. Just when we thought this situation couldn't get any messier, Cameron burst onto the scene like he was making a surprise entrance at the Met Gala. On his show, It Is What It Is, he spilled enough tea to start a Boston Tea Party 2.0. He went in on Jim Jones with the kind of detailed receipts that would make an accountant jealous.
What the f is you talking about, man? You are from the Bronx, bro. You are not from Harlem. Why do you keep thinking that you are from Harlem, bro? You are not from Harlem. I did not grow up with you, man. I did not grow up with you. Contrary to what you believe.
According to Cam's version of events, which he served piping hot with a side of shade, Jim was basically a fanboy who finessed his way into Dipset like a con artist working their magic. But the tea gets even hotter, darlings. He spilled about how Jim supposedly ran away during a confrontation with BMF, straight to the ocean like he was auditioning for Baywatch. And just when you thought we'd reached peak drama, Dame Dash swooped in like a reality TV show surprise guest to back up Cam's story. He confirmed the absolutely shocking tale about Jim trying to get him jumped at his art gallery. In front of his woman, no less. The disrespect was so thick you could cut it with a knife and serve it as drama cake.
Do you ever hear me talk about when you ran on me when BMF pulled up? When you ran in the hotel, they chased you to the beach. All them niggas, and lucky, you went and got a couple niggas, and I know these niggas, they my niggas too. You tell them you got a problem, they jump in the car, they don't know who you got a problem with.
Now, if you're thinking this is just another day in hip-hop, think again, sweeties. This beef between Cam and Jim has more history than a museum and more layers than an onion dipped in drama sauce. We're talking years of tension, betrayal, and enough shade to power a solar eclipse. Cam's been out here saying Jim betrayed Dipset by getting cozy with 50 during their infamous beef in the 2000s. A move more shocking than a plot twist in a telenovela.
20 years ago, however many years ago, I thought it was all good. I had no problem thinking, yo, okay, he tricked niggas out their spot, came to the spot. I know 50 said it.
So here we are, my loves, with Jim backing Drake like a ride or die bestie, 50 stirring the pot like it's his favorite recipe, and Dipset's internal drama threatening to tear apart more relationships than a dating reality show. The question on everyone's perfectly contoured faces is, will Jim's bold move pay off like a winning lottery ticket, or is he just digging himself deeper into drama than a gossip columnist at a celebrity party? And can Dipset ever kiss and make up? Or is this the final curtain call for one of hip-hop's most iconic crews? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, sweeties. Are you Team Jim for backing Drake in this legal showdown? Is there any hope left for Dipset to return to their glory days? Or should we just frame their old photos and call it a day? Don't forget to stay tuned for our next video where we'll be diving deep into 50 Cent's latest industry moves. And trust me, that tea is going to be so hot, it needs a warning label.